Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Ohio Small Business Spotlight, where every single week we do our very best to highlight local businesses in the Miami Valley that make our community a better place to live. I'm Tony Miltenberger with my co host, Greg Fay. Greg, why don't you introduce who our guest is today? She is a legend.
Kim Bryant with Groom Mobile, and they are mobile pet spa centers where they come to you and reading some of the information that Kim puts out on social media. I learned this week that over the past, is it 20 years or 30 years? I want to say it's 30 years, but
Well,
it's
that's my big announcement. It is that we are just getting ready to launch our 35th year.
Holy
well,
Spot.
smokes, 30
30
years.
Big deal.
years.
Incredible.
Big
They
deal.
have 30 years. They have groomed more than 15,000 cats and dogs. So we are so happy to have Kim Bryant, owner of GroomMobile.
Woo woo, yeah! The crowd goes wild. Okay, Kim, let's start with the hard hitting questions first.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm going to do two questions back to back.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
The first one is, what is your favorite animal to groom?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Well,
I
when you're ready.
have breeds that I like. I love to groom schnauzers. Never owned one, but it is a breed that I love to put that finish work on. Um, Poodles, of course, I raised standard poodles for years, so I think that's how I developed my scissor work and my grooming expertise was those big, giant standard poodles. So those there are many over the years that I fall in love with.
I love it. All I hear you saying is that dogs rule, cats drool. That's amazing.
Well, okay. We do the drooling cats too, so we don't leave those out.
I'm teasing, of course. Okay, here's my real question to kick us off. What would you say the most important characteristic that you've developed over 35 years of being a business owner has been? What's the one thing that's like, this is what got me through 35 years?
My passion to educate people and to help people. I have spent many times explaining grooming to dog owners, to people on the streets, uh, picking up a dog from somebody that didn't realize that it needed to be groomed and educating them on that.
Mm.
So I would say there are many after all these years, but being able to educate people, I go back on that anytime I get in doubt what I'm doing here. I'm educating people. I strive for my staff to educate people. And really, that's what we are. People have questions, and we go to their home. They just don't shove the dog out the door. They have questions, and we have a lot of answers. And you can
What?
call into the office. The office staff is wonderful. They have answers to all of those questions. So if you're ever wondering about something, you've got somebody to ask.
Well, I tell you, it doesn't. Your answer doesn't surprise me because Tony will second this. That's one of the most popular answers that we
Yes.
hear about business owners. There really has to be this baseline desire and passion and love of what you do. And it's evident because I am a customer and I've seen it as evidence number one. But to make it 35 years, there's no way that you could do something like that without having a true love. So I know that business owners struggle with this right here, and I kind of think you're going to be a resource for them. You have 5 or 6 Groom Mobile trucks that are out in the community
We have 5 out rolling right now.
at any given time. Is there a common thread that you identify with hiring those people to go out and represent your business?
Oh, it is a huge factor. We we don't hire a lot, once or twice a year to try to find people to fill in. It is very hard to find people that have the same drive that my staff does. I have five of the most wonderful groomers, and they're compassionate. They love what they do. One of my favorite sayings is to tell people, don't ever hesitate to call if you have any questions or problems. We love what we do. We love answering the phones and talking to people, and that's a big thing. I hear it all the time. I get calls all the time. You answered the phone. Yeah, we do. We will answer every call that comes in, up until 8 o'clock at night some nights. I think that has been a huge driver in the last 35 years, is answering the phone. Many of these businesses open up, they're out busy, they wait and answer the phone at the end of the day. So I think that's important too.
Well, I'm
You
going
know,
to
it's
double down. I
all
want to
right.
double down real quick, T, on that right there. There wasn't any doubt that you have fantastic people, but when you were looking for them, is there something that you were looking for to be able to hire five people that do it at the same level that you do? What do you look for when you're hiring someone like that that's going to represent you?
Well, experience number one. And it is very, very hard to find experienced groomers. With COVID in the last 5 years, some of the brand name businesses send these kids off to a grooming school for a few weeks, and then they come back and they put them in a shop and no experience. So we certainly need people with a lot of experience. References, I will give anyone a try if you've got the references and you can do the work. Doing the work, getting them to do a couple dogs through and see how they do, that tells me a lot. And then you have the work ethic to get through, and things like that. But they don't all make it. They don't all make it, and it's not hard.
You know,
So
one of
we
the
go ahead.
I was going to say one of the interesting things about your work is that how you set it up is fairly innovative, right? When you started in this, there weren't many people out there with trucks doing GroomMobile kind of things. I
Right.
know it's become popular in the last 5 to 10 years, from what I can see, and I'm certainly no industry expert. But talk to me a little about innovation in owning a business. How did you decide, hey, I think we could literally take this show on the road?
Well, I had some motivation. I had people in other parts of the country saying, "Hey, I saw this." And I had a picture. That's why I was scanning my wall of my father in our very first mobile, nothing like we have now. So we were doing it before anybody else was doing it. Florida was the first to begin mobile that I know of, and we started there, but we built our own. There were no companies building these vans out and doing that kind of work back then. There really weren't anything like that until about 10 years ago. So for 25 years, we built our own. We built our own. We watched. We experimented. We started with big, loud generators. Now we run off of inverters. We have solar. Trucks are ran on solar now. So I feel like all the big guys out there making all these big vans now copied off of me.
They probably
So
did. Yeah.
innovation has been fun to watch over the years. It has been a very slow wheel turning for the mobile business. I'll tell you that. It's not turning slow now. They're everywhere. There are a lot of them out there now. But we build our own units. We buy the raw vans and build our own units. So that kind of gives us a little bit of a head start there, not having to buy an equipped van.
Hmm.
Well, I
Is
want
that
to ask one thing I see that you have like myself and like Tony, you have a really robust presence on social media and you interact with your clients a lot, people that leave reviews and comments. I had something happen in my business this week right here, and Facebook brought up a memory of about 3 years ago where someone actually gave me a 0 out of 10. And I knew exactly what it was regarding, and the circumstances don't matter really. I felt like I deserved a 0 in that case right there, but I learned something from it. What have you learned when you interact with people on social media when they leave comments? I mean, you really do. You kind of pipe up and give your 2 cents, but what have you learned in interacting? Because I think a lot of business owners, they get so passionate that sometimes they can get out of control, but yours
oh,
are very professional and very respectful. What have you learned in doing that?
oh, over the years, I'm sure I've gotten out of control a few times. Um, well, first of all, that person is usually complaining about something about their pet or the service. So I stop and listen. Probably listening to that person is the most important. I agree with them most of the time. I understand where you're coming from. It's approach. You can learn real fast whether someone's going to be receptive and understand there was a mistake made, or, God forbid they make a mistake and they don't like to admit that. So it I think my approach to it, and I've softened a lot over the years. I understand everything's different now. So people get upset about silly things. And, well, I don't want to use examples because I don't want, but okay, I understand that. We can do a better job next time, and then you always have those people you can't help, no matter what you say or do. And your 0 client, it probably one that nothing you could have done could have salvaged that. I'm pretty proud of we do have some negative. If you look back, most of the negative ones are about the owner and how they spoke to the person.
Hmm.
So, that's on me. That's on me. But I try to listen to both sides. Try to listen, and I come up with a fair reason. Even if it's not necessarily fair on my part, I will accommodate to make that person happy so they go away satisfied.
One of the things that's so interesting about your line of work is that you are literally taking um, extended family members. It's almost like nursing care, right? Like you hear people talk about fur babies. Greg and his family call them the ladies, right? Like
Right,
that's what
right.
they call the dogs. And so, how do you begin to understand or remind yourself? How do you stay in the right frame of mind around the idea that like this is family? What we do to them, we're doing to their family members. How do you keep that perspective?
It's trust. It's trust. Trust us. And one of my mottos, you know, please trust us. I am so comfortable with my employees and how they operate. I want my customers to trust us 100%. That a lot people like to hear that. I mean, I'm confident enough to say that anybody I send to your home, I'm going to trust 100% that they're going to do the best of their ability. Did I answer that?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. I can get off a little bit there. The phone distract.
Well, I think Tony touched on something. It really is an extension of family, and it sounds to me like you already knew that. You understand the gravity of your responsibility, that you're taking care of someone's pet that really, I mean, in some cases, are just an extension of family. In most cases, I should say.
Well, and also we have a very diverse clientele, but we have many people. They don't go out of their homes. They don't leave the home. It's just them and their dog and people that come in to service them. So we understand that. And that's important to know that that little dog sees no one else. So, yes.
Let me ask this question of you right here. In 35 years, Tony and I have been doing this a fraction of the time that you have being a business owner. What has popped up that you did not expect to pop up? And it was really like, holy smokes, how am I going to make it through this? And then ultimately you figured out a solution. What's popped up and really scared you that you really had to kind of say, all right, we got to figure this out because this could mean the life or death of our business? What's something that popped up?
I think the first thing that pops up into my mind are employees. And that's the first, that scares on work, maybe not scares me, but worries me the most, new employees. Um, I'm sure there are many things over the year. A lot of things scare me all the time. The economy, the COVID, the recession, um, an accident. We've had two really bad, horrible accidents that weren't the fault of our groomers, but boy, that was devastating. That was tough all the way around. I've been pretty fortunate. We flow pretty seamlessly around here, so I'll think of something here as we're going along.
Let me kind of poke that needle a little bit, poke that a little bit. Your work is dependent upon trucks rolling.
Yes.
And so, I know as well as you do that trucks sometimes go off the rails through no one's fault. They break down. But unlike when my car breaks down, when yours breaks down, it hits you twice as hard. Once in the expense of repair, and then once in the expense of losing income for the
It
day.
was in the income.
Yeah. How do
Well,
you develop B2B relationships
we're
so that
pretty
you can get back up and running in a timely fashion and make sure you're good to go?
well. First of all, I have a wonderful mechanic, Jerry at Discovery. Uh, I have been with him for about 35 years now. It's a quick phone call and get that van over there. And buddy, he will get us back in a day or two. So that's nice. Now, when we have an accident and we're down for weeks on end, the employees all band together. Everybody's got a day off. There's always a truck sitting for a day somewhere. Somebody steps up, works that day off, and we get those jobs done.
I got a question. I have a question for you. In that industry, so Tony pointed out really early on that you were an innovator by bringing the mobile to grooming and going to people. What do you see in your industry? What's the next newest thing? And maybe it's not going to be something that you embrace, but what are you seeing out there that's new? Because business owners don't oftentimes pay attention to their industry. So somebody might end up getting a competitive advantage because they noticed a new trend or a new product. What's coming up in the GroomMobile business and your industry?
I have two comments on that. We do trade shows. I've been to trade shows. I've been to international grooming competitions where we get to see all those new things out. Uh, the shampoo lines are abundant right now. Lots of good, great shampoos that you can get. The equipment's evolving slowly. But I have to tell you the second part to that, and I thought about this. When I started grooming dogs, that process, the items that you need for that process has not changed over 45 years.
Wow.
So whatever innovating is going to be going on in the future, it's still going to be that same comb, scissors, brush, and a standard haircut. So The mobiles are a big thing right now, and boy, have they made them. You can go camping in these new mobiles they have out there. They have
Listen,
refrigerators. They've
I
got.
want that. I want a Sprinter
I,
camping van so bad.
they're too small in there. I
No.
it, so the mobiles are absolutely up and coming. The problem is they're too expensive. And these groomers that are young and inexperienced go and buy them thinking they're going to have that 35 years of clientele behind it, and
Yeah.
they don't often succeed, and that's unfortunate. You got to pay your dues. I think young people don't quite get that sometimes.
One of the things that we hear a lot from business owners is how to create a recession proof business. Now, some people would say that grooming and this kind of work for animals specifically is one of those things that some people view as necessity and other people view as a luxury. Mobile grooming, I'm sure, would be on top of that as well. How do you prepare for the dips and dunks of the economy?
And they are there. They
Hey,
are there.
we might be in one right now,
I
right? The
think we
government
are.
is
I think
furloughed.
we
I'm
are.
sure a lot of people are like, "Hey, I need you to call me back." They're canceling and
They are.
rescheduling.
They are.
Hit me back on the other side of that furlough. How do you wrestle with all that?
Well, I think I'm conditioned to it after all these years. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down. What I've tried to do with the business is streamline it, keep it compact. You know, we've I'm not sure we're going to be adding more mobiles. If we can, we will. If we can support it. Um, I forgot where I was going with that now.
Well, I like it, right? Be lean, be flexible,
Feeling.
and then add as the demands warrant.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely. I stock up
good
on
wisdom.
shampoos and equipment a couple times a year, so we don't have to worry about, when COVID hit. Heck, we didn't have any shampoo. You couldn't even buy shampoo there for a while. So, and then now you can buy shampoo, but it's triple the price. So, I got to deal with that.
Greg, one more question from you, and then I'll take us out about there. How about that?
All right, I'm gonna give you 1 minute to answer this right here because we feel like we get more concise answers. You talked about your favorite dog. What is the most exotic pet that you have groomed?
Oh my goodness.
Because in
I
35 years, I'm certain there's got to be some.
Some
Oh,
weird stuff.
well, of course, we've done horses. I'm a horse lover, so that was easy. Llama, we've been
What?
out to the llama farm in Xenia and had that experience. They smell really bad, by the way.
I
Chop,
bet.
chop that up to one thing I didn't think you were going to say there.
Oh, was a llama. Yeah. I don't, not my particularly favorite animal, but they are very cool, very, very cool. We've groomed guinea pigs,
Mm.
rabbits.
You answered that question well. I thought maybe you were
I,
going to come up with one. Tony, take us home, buddy. You nailed that one.
All right, Kim, there's two things that we always like to do to end out an episode. One is what piece of advice would you give a new entrepreneur who wants to start a small business?
Answer your phone
Ooh,
That's good.
all
I
the
love it.
time, all the
yeah.
time, all the time. Being connected obviously does it. Doing the trade shows, getting out there. Here's another big one that I have done my entire career: volunteering. We've gone to many dog adoptions. We've had Clark County, Greene County call with problem dogs. I don't charge them. We don't charge, stuff like that. Dog adoption days. We went up, Tracy and I went up years ago one day and did 45 dogs in
Wow.
one day. Most of them were bass, but still 45 days. Couldn't do that today, but uh, and they all got adopted. It was like a
Mm.
phenomenal. It was because we bathed them. They all got adopted.
Yeah.
So I think giving of yourself is the most important thing you can do in life anyway. Volunteering, I volunteered for many things, not just pet things, but give a little bit of your time, give a little bit of your knowledge, give a little bit, you got people that need a dog groomed that can't afford it. Can I give myself a plug real fast about what we're doing? Am
Yeah,
I going
do
to
it.
have time to
Do
do
it.
that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
We're
as
on.
I said, we're getting ready to launch our 35th year anniversary. We're going to have some giveaways, not grooming. We'll give gift cards or grooming stuff, something like that. Um, but we've also just launched our GoFundMe. I almost forgot it. Paw It Forward.
Hmm.
You can find it on our Facebook page. It is a GoFundMe account set up to strictly help and groom dogs that people literally cannot afford to have groomed for whatever reason. Many reasons why people get dogs and don't realize they're going to grow up and have to be groomed, and they can't afford it. So we're establishing that fund so people can give us a call and be down on their luck, and we'll come groom your dog. I would go groom it anyway, but
Love it.
that's what that is going to be for. And our anniversary, 35 years is a big deal.
Big
To
deal.
make it and keep going and have as much fun as we do. And I want to hats off again to my wonderful staff. Couldn't do 1 second of it without them. So I got Vicky, Kim, and Lori in the office. Anybody can call and talk to. Got 5 great groomers out there that are more than willing. So we're going to keep going.
Love it. Love it. All right, Kim, last question. It's going to be the hardest question we ask you the whole day. What are
Okay.
3 small businesses in the Miami Valley that we should have on this podcast?
That would be a hard one.
I know. Nobody likes this question. That's why we love to ask it.
I got to think of 3 businesses first. Well, I don't know.
Okay, so you said
should
your
have asked
mechanic.
me.
Who's your mechanic?
I would have thought of it. What?
Who's your mechanic? We should definitely shout him out.
Jerry at Discovery, you can certainly shout him out.
Jerry at Discovery. And then the other 2, you're going to let us know. How about that? We'll do that.
Yeah,
Just text Greg or email Greg. We'd love to get in touch with them.
I'll tell you one quick thing, and
Yeah.
I would like to give a shout out. I want my people watching and everybody to know that I think that shop grooming is just as important as mobile grooming. There's room for both. There are wonderful shop owners in this town. Amy over at Grooming Dales. There you go. There's my other one. Dana at Bubbles and Bows. You got the WAG, the girls down at WAG. All very reputable. They've been in business as long as I have. I would trust them
Wags
with
is
my
good.
life.
We've used Wags before. They're good.
Yeah. So there you go.
So good. I love it. Well, friends, that's our episode for today. As always, we thank you for coming to the Ohio Small Business Spotlight because we believe, just like you do, that as small businesses get stronger, so do our communities. So until next week, on behalf of Greg and Kim, keep supporting small